Hope all of my audiences are well. I believe that you might have been benefited from the discussions for your day-to-day practical fields. Whether you are a banker, international trade practitioner, logistics company, freight or insurance company, financial institutions, and so on, it is my firm commitment to grow together by exchanging knowledge in the fields of banking, finance, financial crimes and compliance, as well as global regulations and so on. This video is about one of the strongest organizations that covers financial crimes and compliance, especially the money laundering and terrorist financing globally by their regulations and control measures. I will ask your favor of subscription and incentives by thumbs up. It is not that you are 100% benefited, but for the supports to my growth and quick connectivity with you. Have you ever wondered how the world stops criminals from moving their dirty money around? Or how we cut off funding for terrorist groups? It sounds like something out of a spy movie, but there's a real global organization on the front lines of this fight. It's called the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, and today we're going to dive deep into what it is, what it does, and why it matters to every single one of us. So, what exactly is the FATF? Imagine it as the world's financial police, but instead of chasing robbers down the street, it sets the global rules for fighting money laundering and terrorist financing. It was created back in 1989 by the G7 countries, initially just to combat money laundering from the drug trade. But over the years, its mission has expanded dramatically. A huge turning point was after the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Suddenly, the world realized that cutting off the flow of money to terrorists was just as important as any other counterterrorism effort. So the FATF's mandate grew to include combating terrorist financing, and more recently, it's also taken on the financing of the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Now you might be thinking, okay, so it sets rules, but how does it enforce them? This is where it gets really interesting. The FATF doesn't have the power to arrest anyone or freeze bank accounts directly. It's not a law enforcement agency. Instead, its power comes from influence and peer pressure. The core of its work is a set of 40 recommendations. These aren't just suggestions. They are the international standard for what a country's legal and regulatory system should look like to effectively fight financial crime. These recommendations cover everything from making sure banks know who their customers are. That is what Know Your Customer or KYC checks are all about, to requiring the reporting of suspicious transactions, and ensuring that there are laws to prosecute money launderers and freeze terrorist assets. The FATF's main tool for ensuring countries follow these rules is a process called mutual evaluations. This is basically a very detailed report card. A team of experts from other member countries visits a nation and does a deep dive into its systems. They check if the right laws are on the books and, more importantly, if those laws are actually being enforced effectively. Are investigations happening? Are people being convicted? Are assets being confiscated? It's a tough, no-holds-barred review. So what happens if a country gets a bad report card? This is where the FATF's real teeth are shown. Countries with significant weaknesses in their systems can be placed on one of two lists. The first is the gray list. Being on the gray list is a serious warning shot. It means the country is under increased monitoring by the FATF. The country has to commit to a detailed action plan to fix its problems within a specific time frame. For example, a country might be told it needs to improve its prosecution of terrorist financing cases or better regulate its real estate sector to prevent it from being used to launder money. Being on the gray list has real-world consequences. International banks, investors, and institutions like the IMF and World Bank become much more cautious about dealing with that country. It can make it harder to get loans, attract foreign investment, and can increase the cost of doing business. Pakistan, for instance, was on the gray list for several years. It had to undertake a massive effort to strengthen its laws and enforcement mechanisms to eventually get off the list. This involved passing new legislation, cracking down on illegal money transfer services, and improving cooperation between its financial intelligence unit and law enforcement. But there's an even more serious list, the blacklist. Officially, it's called the high-risk jurisdiction subject to a call for action. This is the financial equivalent of a red card. As of now, only a few jurisdictions like North Korea, Iran, and Myanmar are on this list. When a country is blacklisted, the FATF calls on all its members to apply enhanced due diligence and, in serious cases, countermeasures. This can mean anything, from intense scrutiny of every single financial transaction coming from that country, to outright severing of banking relationships. It can effectively isolate a country from the global financial system, making it incredibly difficult to conduct international trade or receive aid. It's the ultimate financial sanction. Let's talk about the broader activities of the FATF beyond just evaluating countries. The world of financial crime is constantly evolving, and the FATF has to stay one step ahead. Think about the rise of cryptocurrencies. Criminals were quick to see the potential of using digital assets like Bitcoin to move money anonymously across borders. The FATF responded by developing new standards. It introduced the travel rule for virtual assets, which requires crypto exchanges, and service providers to collect and share information about the originators and beneficiaries of transactions, just like banks do for wire transfers. This is a huge deal because it brings a new level of transparency to the crypto world, making it much harder for criminals to hide. Another area is trade-based money laundering. This is a complex method where criminals disguise illicit funds by misrepresenting the price, quantity, or quality of goods in an import or export transaction. For example, they might ship a container of cheap plastic toys but declare its value as millions of dollars worth of electronics. The FATF studies these typologies, publishes reports on the red flags, and provides guidance to customs officials and banks on how to spot these schemes. The FATF also plays a crucial role in preventing non-profit organizations from being misused for terrorist financing. While the vast majority of charities do incredible work, their ability to raise and move money internationally can unfortunately be exploited by terrorist groups. The FATF works to ensure that countries have measures in place to protect the nonprofit sector without disrupting legitimate charitable activities. This is a delicate balancing act, but it's vital for national security. Furthermore, the FATF continuously researches new threats. They've looked into everything from money laundering linked to environmental crime, like illegal logging and wildlife trafficking, to the financial flows from cybercrime and ransomware attacks. By identifying these emerging risks, they can update their recommendations and help governments and the private sector prepare their defenses. This forward-looking work is what keeps the global anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing framework relevant and effective. So, in a nutshell, the FATF is the architect and guardian of the global system designed to keep dirty money out of our financial world. It doesn't carry a badge or a gun, but through its standards, evaluations, and the powerful threat of its gray and black lists, it compels countries worldwide to act. It forces a level of transparency and accountability that makes it harder for criminals, terrorists, and rogue states to operate. It's a constant, high-stakes battle fought not on a battlefield, but in bank compliance departments, regulatory agencies, and parliamentary chambers around the globe. The next time you go through a KYC check at your bank, you can remember that it's part of this massive, coordinated global effort to maintain the integrity of the financial system and make the world a safer place. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into the world of financial security interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explains how our world really works. And let me know in the comments if there are any other global organizations you would like to learn about.